Yo, sorry for being a bit late. Had to get things ready and, well, time kind of lost me my way. Wow, that's a way to say it. Anyway, hello everyone. My name's Seph, and we'll be reading Kagurabachi today. I am almost caught up, but I took a bit of a break. I wanted to let chapters stack just a little bit, especially while I was also dealing with several things. You know, putting together the channel, getting together setting aside some time to figure out exactly how I want to approach shonen manga going forward, especially now that MHA is over. I will still make MHA content, but for now I want to start broadening the scope of this channel just a little bit. Anyways, let's see. Let me open up on Viz here. So I'm caught up to chapter 45, but I kind of want to give it a brief look through. I will not be posting images here. I think you should open up the app and read along. Or at least, have read the chapter before watching the video. For obvious reasons, I can't post manga content directly on here. So I'll just be reading the chapter. I'm kind of debating whether or not I should voice it. I will give some voice lines because that's just boring. But yeah, it'll be fun. So anyways, thanks for tagging along, and let's get started. So I want to review the end of chapter 45 a bit. It looks like the main villain organization is making its moves, or rather, so we got the blade back. However, it looks like Chihiro is making a deal. Ah, yes, he said he would join the Kamnabi. Okay, I'm going to read through chapter 45 as well, just because I think that's important. That's important background info here. Yeah, at the end of 44 is when the auction falls. Literally, the entire house has fallen. And Chihiro reveals that he is making a deal with, I forget her name. I still don't know her name. To join the Kamnabi. All right. So we start chapter 45. Ooh. All right. This nameless gentleman. We still don't know the names of some of these guys. It's all going smoothly, as we predicted. The Kamnabi will now take possession of the Shinuchi. Right, they really have no other option. Another nameless figure. Actually, wait, no. Oh, that's the guy who Chihiro fought, who allegedly had something. He's part of the group that killed his father. There's nothing they can do. They're playing right into our hands. Yes. Time for our next move. I forget what his name is. So, chapter 45. What comes next? Aptly named. Hey, we awake in the hospital. Alright. They both woke together, I see. Where are we? Good morning, you two. How you feeling? Oh, they both they both fell asleep as soon as... You both crashed from exhaustion at the same time. What are you, twins? Interesting. Okay, so it looks like the manga author is pushing their relationship a little bit in terms of just their similarity. I wonder, see, Kagurabachi has not been an ensemble cast show so far, but it looks like it's starting to broaden out a bit. Yeah, because obviously you can't just have one main character doing all the things, which is kind of how it's been up to now. So it's got to start changing, and this is the start of that. Well, this arc has sort of been that, but we'll see how well the author follows up. That's what I'm most interested in. It's 11 in the morning, the day after the Rakuzaichi. It's November 9th today. Oh, a lively scene. What are you doing? You took forever waking up. Don't worry. Though we weren't bored. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not good with their names yet. They have barely been in the manga. But these are two Kamnabi members talking. And, it's the little girl. I'm going to remember her name, I promise, but... The video game freak kept us entertained. Oh, okay, they do have video... I guess they would have video games. We see proper buildings and stuff, but I actually wasn't sure. This is a weird timeline. We still have swordsmen and everything, but also alongside video games. Okay. All right. Whatever you say, Hokazono. The video game freak kept us entertained. All night. I creamed him. Who are you anyway? Yeah, good question. I keep asking myself. Chihiro's friend is... We don't have a lot on him. Anyway. So Chihiro thinks, guess they don't know he's ex-Kamnabi. What about the prisoners? They all went home. Char, that's her name. Her name is Char. Okay. Oh. I have a message for you from Inazuma. He says thank you. The little kid whose sister was captive by the Rakuzaichi. The vocabulary is coming back to me. I am remembering. Inazuma? Mr. Inazuma. That's what the kid at the Rakuzaichi called himself. Thanks, Char. Mr. Inazuma. Cool name. Hakari, yes. Hakari. That was his name. Gosh, okay. It's coming, but it's been 2 weeks. I'm sorry. And it's also been a while since I've just talked manga. It's nice. It's nice. Getting back into it. Anyway. Mr. Inazuma. Cool name. Okay, and I'm sure she'll state her name. I can't wait to get reacquainted with her. Anyways, everyone's okay. Normally, it's the Kamnabi's job to keep the peace and protect the vulnerable. But the fact is, evil still runs rampant in Japan. It's because the Kamnabi doesn't have the necessary manpower and grit. Yesterday, thanks to you guys, we pulled off the entire operation seamlessly. Alright, so we are on page 6 of chapter 45. Anyways, Chihiro's friend, whose name I will remember someday. Yeah, but those were some insane shenanigans. Flashbacking to some of the moments here. Okay, this is when they were considering withdrawing. But no, Chihiro stepped up. I love how the author hypes Chihiro up. It's so cool. Okay. I'm just glad you're okay. Sorry. They both say at the same time. Chihiro and Hakari, okay, so that's the pair. I guess Hakari is going to step in the role as deuteragonist, maybe? We'll see. Where's the Enten? And then the female officer points to it. I entrusted the Shinichi to some colleagues. They're at Kamnabi headquarters. And we see the colleagues from last time, alright. I'll take you there now, so get ready. I heard about your deal. You gave them the Shinuchi, and you joined the Kamnabi. This is again Chihiro's friend, trying to look out for him. So your priority is to reseal the Shinuchi. That makes sense. But are you sure about this? You met one of those Hishaku guys, right? Okay, the Hishaku, yes, that's the group I mentioned earlier, responsible for Chihiro's father's demise. Yeah. I get why you're anxious, but that's exactly why we need to make our next moves carefully. Hence the chapter title. For the past 3 years, the Hishaku have been making meticulous preparations we can't even fathom. If their goal was for the Kamnabi to take possession of the Shinuchi, then that means they have their next move already planned. There's other ways we could prepare, right? Okay, so he seems to be opposed to the joining of the Kamnabi. Interesting, though, because he was ex-Kamnabi, apparently. Okay, the female officer objects. With a rather foul mouth. What kind of garbage is that? Other ways? It's already been decided he's coming with me to the Kamnabi. Get ready to leave. Okay, so this, the older man with the... He has some kind of domain? I'm not sure. I don't know how old he is, but... He's well built. Or heavy set, I should say. Plus, you seem to take it for granted that the Kamnabi will seal the Shinuchi, but that's for the higher-ups to decide. There are alternatives to sealing it, like using it. Okay, yeah, so they're trying to have their way. So, Chihiro friend, I get it. That's another problem. If the idea is to seal the Shinuchi, we have to hand it over to the Kamnabi. But there are too many concerns. That's why we should talk it out and eliminate as many as possible. Those were his thoughts. So Chihiro speaks up finally. What would be the Kamnabi's motivation for using the Shinuchi? Let's see. Apparently, according to this flashback, the Kamnabi have... Okay, so the Kamnabi have all the Swordsmasters locked away. Oh, that's right, because ownership of the blades is important. Whoever owns the blade basically has the power is sealed behind the ownership of the blades, so because the Kamnabi control the owners, anyone who collects the blade only has limited use of the blade. With the Shinuchi's power, we could break the Kamnabi's deadlock with the Hishaku. Okay, that's right. So the reason the Kamnabi wasn't going all out against the Rakuzaichi was because of the deadlock that they have with the Hishaku. Okay, so a power balance thing going on. Yeah, I definitely needed to reread this chapter before moving on to the new ones. Whew. And then this is the flashback to Chihiro's father. We can never let anyone use it again. Chihiro says, if I can show you another way to break the deadlock, then there's no need for the Kamnabi to use the Shinuchi. You're right, Mr. Shiba. Maybe I am rushing things. Shiba! Like the dog. Can Shiba dogs warp? No, they cannot. But okay, cool. Alright, let's see. Okay. But this is just a stab in the dark. Now, I've got Hakuri. What? Interesting. Right. Hakuri has the ability to warp effectively people in and out of his domain. So the female officer asks, what's the strategy? Chihiro answers, we steal back the enchanted blades from the Hishaku. Ah, okay, yes, I remember this part. Okay, so essentially, right, Hakuri can freely transport registered items and items affiliated with his registered items. So Chihiro has a connection to those other swords. So they just have to be connected by spirit energy, and an eternal contract meets that standard. In other words, if Hakuri makes contact with the sword bearers in Kamnabi custody, he can transport the enchanted blades. Oh, okay. So he can collect the... Alright, so the Hishaku have the blades, but the Kamnabi have the owners. That's the deadlock. The sword bearers? Oh, okay. We get characters. Alright, this is good. We get teased characters. Okay, so... Blind man with 2 scars over his eyes. He's definitely blind. Like, okay. That was, cool. And then, female character with really big eyes. I'm presuming female character because those are big eyes. And she seems to have longer hair? I'm not sure. But yeah, my presumption is she's female. We'll see. And I have no idea what this guy's got going on. This is actually hard to see because he's mostly wrapped up and he appears to be wearing some kind of traditional head garb. Well, not that traditional. Actually, it looks more like closer to a straw hat, but not really. Anyway, okay. All right. Old guy. Scar on the... He looks like... No, I was going to say he looks like Endeavor, but he doesn't. He just has a scar like Endeavor. Nice mustache. Okay, so those are some cool character designs. So now it's just a matter of getting to these characters. Okay, how can we get to them? With the exception of the Swordmaster, the bearers of the enchanted blades are hiding out in Kamnabi-controlled locations throughout Japan. If they die, then the enchanted blades in the Hishaku's hands become usable. So, they're heavily guarded. Only the top brass cannot authorize access to them, and most of the Kamnabi's forces are invested in protecting them. They're located in fortresses known as Sanso. I wonder what the kanji characters are for this. Okay. So, Sanso. So, okay. I want to look up these locations later and see if they're real locations. Senketsuji Temple. They're probably not. Kokugoku Hot Spring. Kuen Taisha Shrine. Sushi Subaru. Okay, it looks like those are 4. Those are 4 locations. Okay, and that makes sense. We got a preview of 4 wielders. Chihiro has 1 already. Actually, I don't think his counts. There was N10, which was... Okay, N10 is... There are 6 blades in total, so excluding Chihiro's, and then he won N10 from the first guy that he fought. N10 has already been won, but actually no, it broke. It's been shattered. No, wait, that was a different blade. Shucks! It's been too long. One blade has been basically destroyed and used up. The other one he just recovered, which was N10, I think. And that leaves these 4 remaining. Cool locations. I'm glad we have something like that set up. So Hakuri goes, cool. It just sounds cool, the female officer replies. To ensure absolute security, most of our peoples are stationed there. That's the reason we're short-handed. The bulk of our forces are tied up. That's why we have to pick our battles. So, if we get the enchanted blades back, this is Hakuri, then the Kamnabi will be free. And those people we set free yesterday can live in a safer world, right? The world will definitely be significantly safer. That clinches it. Let's go see the sword bearers. Hakuri, I'm going to need your help again. You got it. Okay, it'll be easier to voice act these guys when there is an anime, which I presume we will get eventually. Stealing the enchanted blades back from the Hishaku is an excellent proposal. Nothing beats that. But it won't be easy. First, you'll be judged on the basis of character and trustworthiness. You can't prove who you are, other than a guy who's been wielding an enchanted blade and his pal. As far as the higher-ups are concerned, there's no telling what you'll do if they let you meet the sword-bearers. There's no guarantee they'll let you on board. In fact, you could end up seriously punished. Okay, so this is the council, where, again, a whole bunch of characters, but there's not too much going on here design-wise. I think only a few of them will be relevant plot-wise. Probably. That's just my impression. Prove yourselves. Alright, it's like standing before trial. That's nice. He's hands tied behind his back. Nice. State your name. Chihiro Rokuhira. Alright, and we begin. That was a good chapter. I like the build up. That actually kind of accelerated really quickly into new thing. And the author is really good at that, actually. I like how, they'll tease something a little bit and then it just goes right into it. That's a really cool way of delivering cliffhangers. I appreciate that from Hokozono Sensei. 1 minute. Let me, I need to hydrate for sure. There we go. All right. Then let's get right into chapter 46. I should probably link timestamps. Darn. I didn't really think about... Well, I won't be able to do that until after the stream is done. It's alright. Anyway, let's go. Let's forge. Onward. Chapter 46. This is entirely new. I've never read this before. So this is the judge, or at least a man who appears to be in position to judge. All right, Chihiro Rokuhira. Step forward. Okay, this is Shiba talking. Regarding Rokuhira and the enchanted blades, there are various opinions, but for now they're all in agreement about recovering the enchanted blades. This is according to Shiba again. There may be some hot debate over you and Enten, but if need be, Azami will take your side. Okay, so he probably has a connect. Oh, Azami, I remember him. Okay, so he's on this council too. He briefly met Chihiro. And Shiba is talking in... He's not here. This is a flashback. If I show up, I'm 100% sure it'll throw a wrench in the proceedings, so I'll just lie low. I ended up roughing up a couple of them because of Rokuhira. Okay, then. Okay, so there are various gentlemen here of varying personalities. Some of these actually kind of remind me of One Piece characters a little bit. I think it's like Zoro. I don't know, something about their faces. Actually, there's a pretty diverse cast here, actually, now that I get a closer look at their character designs. They're nice. Okay, so one of them comments on his resemblance to Rokuhira. He doesn't see it. Another guy is just yawning. We don't know yet if he's really Rokuhira's son. One man kind of looks very Chinese. I'm not sure. There's just something very much like that. Or maybe Japanese court noble. I don't know. That's an interesting design. There are some interesting designs here. Oh, one of them does think they look alike. Okay. Anyway, well, let's begin. We will hereby determine how to deal with you and the enchanted blade in turn. You say you want to meet the sword bearers to thwart the Hishaku? Flash to the Kokugoku Hot Spring. This is a sword bearer location. It appears to be the sword bearer of this very concealed person. Yeah, they're in some kind that looks like some kind of Japanese headdress. We're sheltering the bearers of the eternal contracts with the enchanted blades at fortresses called Sanso. High-ranking Kaminabi sorcerers are stationed at those locations. Even with an enchanted blade, it would be hard to get past them. Okay, so, more characters being introduced? Whoa. Ooh. A couple interesting designs. I wonder if the author will follow up on these. Let's see. This lady reminds me, I know who she reminds me of. She reminds me of Arlecchino from Genshin. In a good way. Security is extremely tight for one simple reason: to keep outsiders from making contact with the bearers. Obviously, we cannot just let anybody near them. Rokuhira's son, huh? Have we done a blood test? It's being analyzed. We'll have the results by tomorrow. Then why not have the meeting tomorrow? We can't do that. The Shinuchi is currently under a temporary seal. Okay, this is I recognize this gentleman. His design stands out the most. He's really short. He reminds me of Toshiro from Bleach, but older, and if he never grew taller. We can't keep it stored like that for long. If we're going to seal it properly, we need to move soon. For that reason, we need to know if this plan of yours to break the deadlock and thwart the Hishaku is viable. Make contact with the bearers and teleport the enchanted blades. The key to your plan is this young man, huh? So you have a special power? Show us. He can't right now. Let's try. Oh, okay, this is a flashback. So apparently Hakari can't use his power right now? That's weird. Alright, so the heavy-set gentleman. Let's try it out. Send this to the storehouse. Okay. Oh. Immediately starts bleeding through the nose. Oh, dear. Hey. He's out like a light. Hakari. He only realized that power yesterday, and then he went all out. He needs time to rest. I'm sure I'll be fine in a few days. Poor guy. I witnessed his powers with my own eyes. It's an extremely useful skill. But where he stands is the big pain in the butt. He's not the one calling the shots. It's this guy. If so, then we need to decide whether or not we should give you access to the bearers. In other words, we have to decide if you're trustworthy. What happened to the Cloud Gouger? It was destroyed. Ooh. Well, we're off to a terrible start, and you want us to trust you? Okay, let's say you really are Rokuhira's son. You should know some of the people here. Several of them were instrumental in establishing Kunishige Rokuhira's hideout in the mountains. You lived there with him, didn't you? Yes, but my father brought me there himself. I've never met any of these people. If so, we can only go off of what you say. Then Rokuhira, I'm through talking about my identity. All you have is my word. Forget who I am. Judge me based on what I've done. I stopped Sojo. I destroyed the Rakuzaichi. I reclaimed the Shinuchi. Was any of that bad for you? I saved you a lot of money you were planning to spend. And that's true. If you're afraid Chihiro might hurt the bearers, allow me to say one thing. I'm absolutely sure he won't. He only kills evildoers. Oh, that's an interesting opine, Miss, Okay, the other characters seem to be taking her words heavily as well. That's quite the statement coming from her. Oh, come on, how come Hiyuki doesn't say stuff like that about me? Creepy old man. Okay, her name is Hiyuki. She's cool. She's kind of on par with Chihiro-ish. Just the way that they pose and do fights and stuff. It's really fun. Tunk. Hakuri is also in... Oh, okay, Hakuri and the Heavyset Gentleman are like fist bumping. That's so funny. Hakuri is also in he's also in handcuffs, it looks like. Anyways, that was some high praise Chihiro just got. Okay, so the Doubting Thomas here, the older Doubting Thomas, who I can't really describe very well, sorry, but he's blondish. Judge you based on what you've done? You look like an unruly punk to me. Tell me one thing. Say you get the enchanted blades back. Then what? Will you just surrender them to us? Ooh. Got him. We don't need a blood test. You're Rokihiro's son, all right. Arrogant and pig-headed. Here's how we break the deadlock. We kill you. Oh, he's doing something funky. Oh, those are like blood beads? Or are those actual beads? It's hard to tell, but they look like blood beads. Oh no, they're going clack. They're making clacking noises. So they're real beads, but they're coming out of his hand? What is going on? Okay. That's exciting. Hold on. So, okay. We kill you. Then we entrust Enten to a member of the Kumnabi. Clearly that's best for the Kumnabi, right? Oh, Hakuri's using his powers already, or trying to. Oh no, blood out of the nose. Oh, the friend in the Kumnabi, the one guy who knows Chihiro, is also preparing to back him up. But we get interrupted. Excuse me. Hello, random nobody from I don't know you, but it's fine. So this guy is just barging into the room. Just a little while ago, the Kokugoku Fortress was invaded. Oh, whoa, everything is escalating. Everything is going to hell right now. Invaded? You better tell me that everything's okay. According to eyewitness reports, after confirming several assassins and multiple spirit energy reactions characteristic of the enchanted blades. Oh no, the enchanted blades were unleashed. Oh, it's wrecked. The fortress was annihilated. Oh, they're probably dead. This is... that's a big move. That's the plot for you. It is moving. It is accelerating. All right. Also, there was a sighting of a man with an emblem resembling flames on the back of his hand. The Hishaku. There we go. And the enchanted blade bearer was Uraha killed? So this was their next move? Directly assassinating the bearers? We're trying to determine that. Multiple spirit energy reactions characteristics of the enchanted blades. But how? It's possible. So these are Chihiro's thoughts. They must have a number of those. Okay, wait, what is that device? Darn, was that used Was that used during the raid of the Rakuzaichi? Hold on. Why would they have entrusted Cloud Gouger, the only usable enchanted blade, to Sojo? Oh, that's a good thought. They're ready now. They'll attack the other sword bearers soon. And okay, here's Chihiro saying, "You're right. When I get the enchanted blades back, I have no intention of handing them over to the Kamnabi or anyone else. Once I get them back, we'll be enemies again." Hand over the N10 to someone else? If they're Kamnabi, there would be less risk. It'd be a wise choice. But there's no time. A new bearer wouldn't be able to master N10 overnight. You need immediate fighting power. I'm your best bet. And apparently that gives everyone Rokuhira, Father Rokuhira's vibes. That's a good argument, though. You can't just master a blade overnight. He is already here and ready. Enough, you little punk! Hey, stop. He's cool. Definitely Rokuhira's son. I like this guy. He's chill. Remove the cuffs. Are you insane? Oh, speaking to the judge like that? Anyways, excuse me. He's right. We don't have a moment to lose. We have no time to appoint a new bearer. He came to negotiate with us. The Hishaku are already on the offensive. The latter are the immediate threat. Chihiro Rokuhira. For now, we'll use you. However, we have no intention of letting you do as you please with the enchanted blades. Okay, so they're going to proceed with the stalemate. Temporary alliance, go. We have a new report. The bearer is alive. Okay. But what? What is the catch? The bearer escaped the fortress and is currently in flight. We'll provide guidance. You two, make contact with them immediately and protect their life. Okay, so already Hakari and Chihiro are on their first mission. Let's go! I really like this for Kagurabachi. Okay, the pace is really good. It kind of reminds me of MHA a little bit. Maybe a little bit smoother on the transitions between arcs. Hold on, I need a drink because, ow, my throat. Ugh. Oh, man. Probably another one for good measure. Excuse me. Ugh. All right. Phew. Okay, so that was chapter 46. That was a good chapter. Like, wow, I'm impressed. Just the way things are moving. We're like, this is a really tense situation, and it only took like a couple chapters to get here, so nice. And it was in a way that completely made sense. Like, none of that scene felt forced. There was no unearned respect, right? I'm very happy with that. Okay, so ooh, color page, that's neat. Oh, they're announcing the arc name, the Swordbearer Assassination Arc. This is when all of the Swordbearers come under assassination threat. Wow. How long will the manga be if we're already... I mean, I guess the plot structure wasn't ever going to be that long, but we're getting all four of them, all four of the other Swordbearers at once. So when this arc is over, how close will we be to the end? I wonder. Oh, that is such a cool color page. That is so cool. Hokazono Sensei's art is really good. I like this a lot. Okay, Kagurabachi. So this is introducing Yoji Uruha. Let's see. Is this a flashback? It's hard to tell. So Yoji Uruha, contracted owner of Enchanted Blade Kume Yuri. 18 years ago, the day Mr. Rokuhira entrusted me with Kume Yuri. Okay, this is Uruha's perspective. Uruha, this blade suits you. It was the high point of my life. I fought hard in the Seitei War. Seriously, Mr. Rokuhira is incredibly cool. Oh no, he's a fanboy. There aren't a lot of people out there with that kind of ironclad composure. Uruha, this blade suits you. Wait, why is he's repeating the line? What? Those eyes of his, unreal, right? I know I've said this a bunch of times, but fighting for that guy was the greatest honor of my life. Uruha, this blade suits you. What is this? As soon as the war was over, I voluntarily returned the enchanted blade to Mr. Rokuhira per his request. After that, he disappeared. I didn't hear a word of him for 15 years. Oh, okay, so he's still fairly young looking. What? Okay, so this was the announcement. A group called the Hishaku killed him. They stole all the enchanted blades. They already killed Misaka, the bearer of Cloud Gouger. They'll come after each warrior contracted to the enchanted blades, so they can use the swords they stole. The Hishaku? They're enemies of the state. If they're able to wield the enchanted blades, this country will be destroyed. This country you fought so hard to protect. I won't let that happen. This time, I'll protect you. Okay, so that appears to be... Okay, he was in the not the flashback, when they were flashing over to the temple, he was one of the guards. So the Kokugoku Fortress, a natural hot spring from northern Toyama Prefecture. So Uruha lived there in seclusion from the world, protected by 14 elite Kanabi fighters. Alright. Every day I bathe in the same pools with the same people. Well, this is such a funny way to show what was going on with his life. So just a bunch of bros hanging out in the bath? Okay. Hey, by the way, there was a message from headquarters. A 7th enchanted blade and Mr. Rokuhira's son. They haven't ascertained whether he's actually Rokuhira's son or not. He must be an imposter. The nerve of that guy claiming Mr. Rokuhira's name. Why does so many people doubt Chihiro like that? What has Chihiro done? Other than be another man's son. What is... Anyway. How can you be sure he's not really his son? I'm sure. Mr. Rokuhira could never take care of a kid. Okay. Alright. Shade. That is... He admires the man so much, but... Okay. Alright. Not a good father. Not fair. Not fair. Rokuhira's dad is really cool. Anyway. So Uruha goes, I was ready to die at any time. For 3 years after I learned of Mr. Rokuhira's death, I lost my will to live. Dude. Anyway. Man, this guy has got it intense for Mr. Rokuhira's dad. He can't imagine him with anyone else. That's... Anyway. Invaders? Mr. Uruha, this way. They're wearing the emblem of the Hishaku. Report to headquarters. Those are enchanted blade spirit energy reactions. They've got some weird weapon. Honestly, we have no hope of beating them, but we can buy you some time. Run. We can't let them take your life. Aw, man, is this guy dead? His design is kind of cool. That's a shame. He probably is not surviving that fight. Okay, so 8 kilometers from Kokugoku Hot Spring. Interesting. Running through the subways. Head for Otago Station. We'll contact headquarters and have them send you new bodyguards immediately. New bodyguards? Who could they possibly send if these guys weren't tough enough? It would take warriors on at least the level of Azami or Hiyuki. The station's nearby, and there's no sign of the enemy. Where are my protectors? This is bad. Excuse me? You're Mr. Uraha, right? Okay, there we go. There is Hakuri. Hakuri joins the fray. Well, not exactly. Show me your insignia. Oh, right. You're my protection? How did you know it was me? You're actually pretty conspicuous. His design is very, not normal. There is one other guy, but we split up to look for you. Situation looks dire. Huh? They're here. Oh. Okay. 3 of them. No, 4 sorcerers. Can you kill them? What sword is that? It's an ordinary self-defense sword. Okay. So... Oh, Hakuri can get him his blade right now, maybe. Okay, so Chihiro, again, flashback. So Chihiro and Hakuri are talking. Hakuri, you're special. Normally there's only one kind of spirit energy in a person's body, and it's limited in capacity. So, if you seal an eternal contract with an enchanted blade, the price you pay is losing your original sorcery. So those with eternal contracts to the enchanted blades are basically defenseless. No enchanted blades, no sorcery. That's why they need bodyguards. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting lore. I like the way this is all set up. Get back! Okay, Hakuri, show us what you got. I'll protect you. Go! Immediately passes out. Hakuri, come on. Hey, what's wrong? We'll give our lives so you can escape. You'd better survive now, or we'll curse you. Man, he must be dead. That sucks. Okay, time to show your stuff, though. Because Hakuri is, a rip. Not very useful. Okay, self-defense sword is putting in work. Oh, okay, he threw the hat at them and then cut through the hat and then that sliced the guy's eyes out. Okay, nice. I love this action sequence. Wow, that's cool. Shoot, I'm a bit rusty. He took out 4 sorcerers with just an ordinary sword? Yes, because you need to step up, Hakuri. Come on. Anyway. They're not using the weapons they had at the fortress. Maybe they're limited in number? Or there's some other restriction. Well, there'd better be. Yeah, because they just have to kill him. They don't need to take him alive. So Uraha's in grave danger. There he is. Hey, how many jerks work for the Hishaku? It's endless. The doors are okay, automated voice for the subway, because they have subways. The doors are closing. Hey, get on! Okay, onto the train. Oh, brother. They're everywhere. Looks like we're surrounded. Train fight! We love train fights. No, they are. There he is! Don't turn around. He's not there. Where'd he go? Where? There! That's an entrance! Chihiro Rokuhira, baby. That's so cool. He really is cool. Probably one of the coolest main characters Jump has had in a while. Pleased to meet you, Mr. Uraha. My father spoke of you often. An enchanted blade. But this guy? He must be an imposter. We'll take over as your protectors. We promise not to let you die. Chihiro is so cool. He's so cool. I'm sorry. He's... I can fight for your sake again, Mr. Rokuhira. Chihiro shows up and immediately rizzes. Alright. He might be kind of screwy. He is definitely screwy, Hakuri. He is definitely screwy. Okay, so we are all caught up. We are all caught up on Kagurabachi. What are my thoughts so far? Actually, honestly, really impressed. Oh, hey, Daniel. Nice to see you. Yeah, no, actually, I just finished catching up to Kagurabachi. It's been fun. So, I like the way Hokazono has set up this world. Like, we got a lot of lore bits throughout. Oh, yeah, same. Yeah. So, yeah, what I really like about the setup is just how quickly we move about, and it all makes sense. Like, I don't feel lost at all, despite the sheer amount of characters that were thrown at us. Like, we got all of the Kamnabi members thrown at us. We got all of the Enchanted Sword users thrown at us. And now... Well, actually, the author held off on Hishaku members. We got Hishaku goons, but we haven't seen a lot of new Hishaku members yet, but they're about to show up for sure. But this was really efficient. Let me think. Yeah, that was a lot. Oh yeah, and there was like 4 locations as well that were dropped on us, so we know the locations of the 4 temples, but one of them was immediately destroyed after that. So it moved pretty... These past couple chapters moved pretty quickly. But I'm still impressed. Like, I don't feel overwhelmed because it was focused on specific plot details very well. Like, Chihiro's exchange with the tribunal, I guess I would call it, where he's being judged. It was kept to simple arguments. The points were not too complicated, and we didn't have to dwell too much on the judges or the members of the Kamnabi. I don't know how many of those members of the Kamnabi will be main characters. I don't think we'll get too much on them right now, and we don't need to. I'm happy just being introduced to Uraha and the dynamics with Hakuri. It's nice to see Hakuri being relevant and carrying forward. It moved mid to you. Fair enough. I actually think that there was some lacking in story beats, like themes. Like, I don't really care about Uruha just being a simp for Rokuhira. Like, that's not really interesting. It's kind of funny. It's at least funny, but it's not like... I'm not emotionally invested in this character. Like, if he were to bite it next week, because that's just what Kagurabachi does sometimes. If he were to bite it, I certainly wouldn't think twice. So yeah, Kagurabachi has an issue with an underdeveloped side cast. It's very much the Chihiro show, and everyone is kind of along for the ride. I will say that I like Hiyuki, the female Kamnabi officer, but there's not much to her either, unfortunately. She is just kind of a badass. But, you know, I like badass female characters, so it's okay. And so Mr. Shiba, he's just there. He has warp, which is really powerful. He can only warp himself and people he is immediately touching, so he can't like just go to places that he knows nothing about, I guess. But that's a really broken ability. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you keep that ability in and keep your series kind of sane. Like, warp is very OP. Hakuri sort of has a gimped version of it because he needs conditions for it to work. It's powerful when it works, but it has conditions. But yeah, powers aside, the characters themselves are not too gripping. There's not a lot to say about the themes either, though sometimes it does hit. Like, I like the chapter with Char, for example. The Char storyline was really good overall, but not a lot of that elsewhere. Like, there were some themes with family with the Rakuzaichi group, like the guy from Black Clover. No, I actually haven't seen or read Black Clover yet. I do intend to catch up on that at some point, but I'd like to wait for it to end at least. Granted, I'm sure if I started reading now, it would end by the time I got caught up. But no, Char is the young girl who Chihiro saved about 25 chapters ago now. Wow, time flies. But yeah, he saved Char. She's like Eri from My Hero Academia. Yeah, that I enjoyed that. He Hokazono Sensei used some nice theming around food, I think, like family meals, and just this wholesome vibe about finding her a new home. That was nice. But he didn't quite do a lot of that in the previous arc. Like, Hakuri's family is really messed up. It's an interesting theme, I guess, with Hakuri's family, but I wasn't like endeared to anyone else but Hakuri, mostly because they're all the other members of his family are kind of very inhumane. It still wasn't bad, but like it built up Hakuri very well. She can boost power. Char can boost recovery. Actually, that's really dark. Char is like, if you've heard of old mermaid stories, the idea was if you eat the flesh of a mermaid, you could like live forever or heal your wounds or something, become immortal. Char is literally that. Like, oh, that sounds so disgusting to say. But yeah, like, she regenerates her body. And yeah, there are things you can do with that. Yeah, no. I do forget what Hyuki can do. Hyuki, I think, is just a badass. She's a strong, she's cool, and that's kind of all she needs to be. But yeah, so far I think that's my thoughts on Kagurabachi. So wait, hold on. Mr. Shiba is just kind of there. He can warp about, but I'm not really invested in his character. Hyuki is really cool, and that's fine. I would just like more than just cool. Hakuri I like generally. I think Hokazono Sensei did a good job building up Hakuri, and he has a decent dynamic with Chihiro. Chihiro himself is also cool. I like his backstory, his vengeance thing, but he's not too heavy with it. He's a cool main character, and the author is really good at building him up, just dropping him at the end of the chapter, and it's always cool. I really have to hand it to Hokazono Sensei. And we got a train fight. I mean, not really. It was more like a train slaughter, but I don't know. That was cool. I liked it. And let's see. The best character is probably Chihiro, just because. Yeah, no, it's definitely Chihiro. And you know what? That's kind of the type of person I am when it comes to reading manga. My favorite character in the manga more or less kind of has to be the main character. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, I guess we can have, I mean, basically, it's the main character, so the entire story has to revolve around them. So I get liking other characters a little more, but you kind of have to like the main character a lot because they push the plot forward, or they're supposed to. Yeah. So I enjoyed these last couple chapters. I'm looking forward to reading and reacting to Kagurabachi basically every week or so, I think. So if this is the kind of content you guys are interested in, if you enjoy the way I read the chapter, do voice acting for the characters, I'm trying to get better. We'll see how that goes. But if you do like this kind of stuff, please do like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate that. I do think I'm going to wrap it up here. But yeah, as for my closing thoughts on these last two Kagurabachi chapters, these were well done chapters, okay? Everything was smooth. I understood it. I wasn't overwhelmed despite the amount of lore that was dropping, the amount of setup and characters that were thrown at me. I was able to absorb that pretty well. So, good on Hokozono Sensei for making this very digestible despite being very fast-paced. Have a good night, Daniel. I'm actually logging off too. So yeah, I'll probably be here same time next week talking about the next Kagurabachi chapter. So thank you guys very much for joining the stream. I will try my best to edit with timestamps as relevant afterwards. But yeah, for now, I'm going to call it a night.